Let's send things back on over to our David Paul.
Yeah, and things will continue to be bad for the next several hours until the storm slowly moves out of Louisiana tonight. Peak wind gusts, Port Fortune, 172-mile-an-hour gust. That is right on the coast where the storm made immediate landfall just before noon today. Grand Isle had a gust to 146, Dulac 138, New Orleans peak gusts so far 87, but that came before the wind meter there blew apart. So we don't exactly know what the peak wind gust has been in Louisiana officially. Here's the satellite and radar composite moving north now, the storm. It is weakened to a Cat 2. But it's still very powerful as it's almost 100 miles inland and still with sustained winds near the center of 105 miles an hour, making it a Cat 2 on the Saffir-Simpson scale. Looks like it's going to split the uprights between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, sparing them potentially what could have been an even more difficult outcome. Things will be bad enough in New Orleans with the power out. Here are the hurricane warnings which extend into Mississippi. The storm's still a Cat 2, expected to be Cat 1 even as it moves on inland. Forecast track from the Hurricane Center still has a strong tropical storm heading toward Jackson, Mississippi as we get into the morning hours, and then it moves on inland pretty quickly, but this will be a significant inland flood threat, especially into the Virginias and up toward Tennessee as it gets into the spine of the Appalachians. It is, in fact, the inland rain totals and inland flooding that may become a real problem later on, Addison Green.
And David, we've only seen just the beginning of how much rain could come down from Ida when all is said and done. So far today, we've seen LaPlace picking up over a foot of rain. New Orleans picking up about 7 inches, and these all are radar estimates. Over towards the Houma area, they picked up about 5 inches of rain. And as we have seen across southeast Louisiana, there is a big swath of many areas that have picked up about half a foot of rain, if not more, in that orange to red highlighted areas. And there's LaPlace right there on the south shore of Lake Pontchartrain, and we were told that there is no levee between them and the lake. So they get a ton of rain and the lake starts to sway back and forth, then we're gonna have some big problems right there of some more flooding. There is more rain on the way as we watch that track of Ida moving across Tennessee in towards portions of the Appalachian Mountains areas and the mid-Atlantic states. At least an additional 10 to 20 inches could come down on top of what we've already seen so far in southern Louisiana. So of course, there is definitely going to be a high flood threat all across the mouth of the Mississippi, including New Orleans, and then in towards tomorrow. It extends further northward all the way in towards Tennessee, and by Tuesday, that flood threat moves all the way in towards Charleston, West Virginia. So we have definitely seen some high rainfall rates come through, David, over time, but once the storm moves out, now we have to talk about how some places without power now have to deal with the heat moving on in.
It's just amazing how many aspects there are to a storm like this. So the power's out in New Orleans and it will stay out. So we go into Tuesday afternoon's high temperature, they're at 88 degrees. But as we get into Wednesday, a heat wave across the south sets up. They'll be 95, heat index well over 105 in New Orleans. They've got no power. It is going to be very difficult on top of all of the stress of cleaning up after this big hurricane for them. Now back here locally, summertime just continues for us. This is Monday's forecast. We start muggy 78, 91 by noon. We'll go to 95. 30% chance for a scatter shower. It'll feel like at least 101 out there on Monday. The extended forecast, summertime continues for us. At the moment, we don't see any big changes coming. We're mid-90s all week long. We've got a chance for a scattered thunderstorm on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No significant changes coming in our forecast. So it makes it easy for us to send thoughts and help, and they will need physical help with things in New Orleans and across Louisiana in the coming days.
Yes, and we've seen an army of folks going that way to do just that. Addison, David, thank you.